In this video, I'm going to be talking about sales statuses. These are examples. These are not hard coded, so you're able to change the name of these. You're able to change the different mapping to each of these, but I'm going to start from here. So let's start an inquiry. Now, usually at each property, you have inquiry, you have a proposed, a tentative, confirmed, and canceled. You can name these however you'd like. Like I said, these are not static. You can change these. Now, when you have an inquiry status, what that will do is that will map to the event. So for example, if you book a conference that's an inquiry and they have events associated with that, well, what that will do is that'll map all the events into the inquiry phase here. Reserved conference room, we'll look at that when we get to proposed or maybe even confirmed. However, if you'd like to set an inquiry to reserved conference room and reserve events resource, you could do so here. Sort order is basically the order in which you use these. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is usually the sort order for this. Color code, all dependent on what color you'd like. That's all a preference. Allow posting revenue to paymaster in night audit. So for example, if you're using deposit rules or even starting to charge for conference bookings at the time of arrival, usually people don't do that in inquiry. They'll usually do that in confirmed. However, you can do so in inquiry. You can start posting revenue to the paymaster and they'll automatically process that at night audit. If you'd like to show inquiry in the POS, then you could do that here. You just click display in POS, and what that'll do is that'll show up these conference rooms that are in the inquiry phase in the POS. Is initial sales status. Now, usually an inquiry is the initial sales status. That's why this is checked here. And that's why is canceled status is not checked, because inquiry is not a canceled sales status. Display statuses on conference room scheduler page. Now, basically what that does is that'll say, okay, well, I want to show inquiry on the conference room scheduler. Maybe you don't want to show inquiry. Maybe you don't want to show canceled. Maybe you do. So you have that flexibility here. That way you can maybe declutter some things for housekeeping and all that in the conference room scheduler. Map to block statuses. In Senium, we'll talk about blocks and groups a little bit later. However, you can reference this here. If a conference and a conference event is in inquiry status, once you set that to inquiry or even proposed, what that'll do is if you have a block and if you have a group, that can be mapped just like an event status. It can be mapped to an inquiry of the block, and to the group status, it can be mapped to created. Those are all pretty equivalent in terms of vocabulary. Inquiry would basically mean created in a group. However, if you'd like to, if somebody's inquiring about a conference and you want to go ahead and confirm them, you can do so here. Proposed, I'm just going to go over proposed a little bit just to show you how it kind of differentiates from inquiry, proposed, tentative. As you can see here, if something is proposed, what we did here was we reserved the event resource. That way the resource gets taken out of inventory. And the sort order is number 2, as we use as number 1, and this is number 2. A unique color here. Since this is no longer the initial sales status and is not canceled, they are unchecked. Okay. We would like to display this in the conference room scheduler. And since this is proposed, we map the block to contract sent, and we map the group status still to created here. Now, tentative. If somebody is tentative and the contract is already sent out and they verbally confirm, then we'll go ahead and reserve the conference room and reserve the event resource. That way those are taken out of inventory. Excuse me. We would like to definitely see tentative in the conference room scheduler. At that point, we would map those to the block to tentative, and we'll map the group to created still. All right. Now, once confirmed, this is all going to stay the same. We're going to guarantee that the conference room is going to be available for them, guarantee that the event resource is going to be there for them. We're going to go ahead and confirm the block and go ahead and confirm the group. And canceled, the only difference here is this is now canceled. It's no longer initial. We're not going to reserve any conference room. We're not going to reserve any type of resources here. This is the canceled sales status, and that will map to block status as canceled and group status as canceled. And you can add, delete, however you'd like. If you have multiple sales statuses, you could do so here.